Hey everybody, good evening. Welcome to another edition of Rob's Little Blue Book. And tonight, I'm really stoked about tonight because, well, it's been a while since I've added a recipe to the Little Blue Book. It's been quite a while, and I think this recipe we're going to do, this dish I guess we're doing tonight, sets the record for the fastest entry into the Little Blue Book. I found this dish when I was researching gnocchi because I really like making that. I don't make potato gnocchi all that often. It's a bit of fussy and it's kind of a pain in the ass. So if I'm going to do it, I usually do like a ricotta one, which I'll show you guys how to make in another episode. The ricotta one's really easy. Just mix up ricotta and flour and a couple other things, roll it out, cut it. But while I was looking around for sort of inspiration for that, I found the French version, which is done with the Pistou, which is like kind of like a French pesto without nuts, which is perfect for me because I'm allergic to nuts. So I'll show you guys how this goes. It's a taste sensation, and it looks really good too. You'll see when we plate this. I love everything about this dish, so I'm really excited to be doing that for you guys tonight. Since it's a French dish, and since I don't want to risk a new cocktail, we are going to revisit the French 75, which we did like a long time ago. So most of you probably haven't seen it. Or don't remember it. I don't remember it, but it's a fun cocktail. So we're going to do that first, and then we'll go over the ingredients, and we'll talk about how we're going to do this dish tonight. But first things first, let's get this going. A French 75 is basically, it's a gin drink with a little lemon and some simple syrup, and it gets topped with champagne or Prosecco. I'm using Prosecco tonight because the liquor store didn't actually have any champagne today. They were sold out of a real champagne, which is odd, but whatever. So there we go. That's 2 ounces of gin. I'm making two of these. So 2 ounces of gin. We're going to go with 1 ounce of lemon juice. And of course, because we're using lemon juice, which isn't clear, this will be a shaken drink. And half an ounce of, an ounce of simple syrup. This is a 1-to-1 simple syrup. This isn't the heavy 2-to-1 that I use sometimes for, I guess for bourbon cocktails. I typically use like a 2-to-1 or a heavier syrup. But in this case, 1-to-1 is the way we want to go. That's actually technically the wrong side, isn't it? I'm used to mixing up in this other one. All right. Forgive the noise. Hope that wasn't too bad. I actually discovered a trick for stream. It doesn't really apply to regular bartending or mixology, but if you use one cube, one really big cube, it doesn't make nearly as much noise when you shake the drink. So I'm going to serve these in coupes. You could serve this pretty much, I wouldn't serve this in a highball or something, but you could serve this in any kind of glass that appeals to you. I'm sure there's I have misjudged this. I'm sure there's really hack this now tonight. There we go. I'm sure there's a proper glass for it. I don't actually remember what it is offhand, so we're going to go with coupes. Coupe is actually a terrible shape to serve champagne in long term. Like this cocktail, because it's a chilled cocktail, you kind of want to drink it relatively quickly. So you're not as concerned about your drink going flat. But if you were, there's a reason champagne's served in flutes. It's because it stays fizzy longer, the carbonation. There's a lot of surface area in a coupe. And, let's get this out here. Okay, and of course one of these is for Serena, so just give me 2 seconds, and am I still up? And I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So we rearranged the layout of the apartment, so Serena's a little further down the hall, so it takes a little longer to drink. Okay, cheers, guys. Let's. Also, you can garnish this with a lemon twist. I'm not because my lemon garnish got all used up for zest for the Pistou. Oh, that's good. I mean, yeah, so the reason this drink has its name, French 75, if you're wondering, oh, it's really good, is named after the French artillery piece, a 75 millimeter howitzer from, I think, the First World War. It might be the second. I'm not really a military geek. Um, but anyway, the idea is this drink hits as hard as a howitzer. It's probably true. I mean, it's like a shot of gin and champagne. Very easy to drink, so be mindful that you don't have too many in a row. And let's get on with this. Okay, let's go back to regular can here, and let's talk. We're going to do the Pistou first. So, the French version, right here, the French version is made with pâte au choux, which is normally, it's a French pastry, and it's normally done for, well, not normally. You can do two versions. You can do a sweet version, which everybody knows. That's like profiteroles, all those delicate French pastries where they're, I mean, they look like little cabbages, which is how it got its name. The cream centers, and we can do that another day. They are delicious too, but this is a savory version. So in this one, we're going to have, what are we going to have here? Some of these ingredients here. We've got our basil, of course, parm, forming the base of it. We've got our olive oil here, a couple of garlic cloves and some lemon zest. That's where our drink garnish went. 2 anchovy fillets, just to build flavor. Anchovy fillets like this don't, of course, they don't taste fishy. You can't tell they're in there, but they do give it an umami boost and a depth of flavor that you don't get otherwise. And it wouldn't be French cooking without 3 tablespoons of butter. So let's do that real quick first, because it's super easy to do. We have the mini chop, which is the best thing in the world. You guys can see it. Oh, there we go. And you literally just put the ingredients in and blitz it. So I probably have too much basil here, but I generally just like put as much as this little guy can handle in here. Can't really have too much. This was probably a little more than a cup. This is like 2 solid bunches of fresh basil that I got. So I'm going to blitz that just a little to give me some room to put other stuff in. And let's see. So anchovies, in you go. Our garlic in there, lemon zest. Let's see the butter. Actually, we're really maxing this guy out, aren't we? Get the butter in there. And let's figure out how we're going to get all this parm in here. Shut down, baby. And again, you can't really have too much parm. I'm going to save a little parm for the garnish, maybe, or for the top the dish with. Also, because it doesn't fit. All right. Now, if you have a full-size food processor, this is probably a lot easier. Oh, the olive oil. So I'm going to give a little mix before I add the olive oil. And this will bring everything together. This is, by the way, if you want quantities, let me just tell you what we're doing here. That was about 1.25 cups of basil, maybe a little more. 3/4 of a cup of parm. I weigh my parm, so it's about 2 ounces, maybe a little bit less. It was about 1/2 cup of olive oil, 2 garlic cloves, 2 anchovy fillets. You saw that. Zest to taste. It was maybe a teaspoon. I'm going to put in a little bit of lemon juice too, just to cut the olive oil a bit. Maybe that's 2 teaspoons, maybe. And 3 tablespoons of butter. And then we twist for all of here. Hopefully that's not too loud. And it doesn't need to be okay. It doesn't need to be super smooth, okay? It's not, you don't need to blend it as much as you would a pesto, let's put it that way. Now, since we do need this for the next step, I have to wash it. So let's get this out of here, and I'll show you guys. Look at the color. Look how amazing this looks already. Let's pop that in one of these guys. So yeah. Oh, it tastes so good. Okay, the other thing too is we should taste it for seasoning actually. This probably doesn't need salt or pepper. Did I say salt or pepper right? I feel like I didn't. But as always, taste your food. So I'm just going to give this a quick taste, see if it needs any seasoning. But it really doesn't. How much oil? Sorry, I just saw this, Rebecca. I added half a cup. And no, it's perfect. There's so much parm in it, it just doesn't need the extra salt. And it certainly doesn't need pepper. So there you go. So I'm just going to put this in a bowl. And of course, this is more than we need for this recipe. But this is fantastic for so many things. I mean, you could make fresh pasta noodles and just toss it in this, and it would be amazing too. So let me put that there. Run that real quick. Okay, but look at the color of this. Like, it just looks, it smells amazing. It's. I wish you guys could smell. It's like so bright and vibrant. Really, really happy with that. Okay. This might be a quick one, guys, because well, the pâte choux takes a little while. So forgive me for 2 seconds while I just wash this up real quick. Okay, so we're gonna take a short break. Any questions so far? I mean, there's not really, you know, I preach technique and all that, and there's not a lot of technique to just slamming ingredients in a blender, push and go, but sometimes that's what you want to do, right? Sometimes that's the way to go. So, by the way, this is, you'll see, and I'll tell you how to, there's a spot when we prepare the pâte choux where you can put it in the freezer, and you could put this together in a weeknight in like 10 minutes or less. You know, like it takes no time to put the stuff in the blender. If you had this in your fridge and the gnocchi in your freezer, you're eating in 5 minutes, maybe six. But just a fantastic weeknight recipe. Really enjoying that one. Okay, so let's review some of the ingredients for the actual gnocchi. So it's an egg pastry. So we have, of course, not that. We got our eggs. We got our butter, which is our butter. We'll use this butter. There's going to be a little salt. We're going to add some water. The flour is going to go in. It gets kind of cooked down until it reaches the consistency we want. And this is a savory one, so we're going to add some Gruyere. We're going to season it. And it goes back into mini chop. So that's probably not very clear, but let's just get into it, and I'll show you how it goes. It's pretty straightforward. Wipe this guy out. Okay, so we do want half a cup of water to start. So this recipe, these quantities, you can get these anywhere. I'm using kind of I'm not making a full recipe because my mini chop can't handle, you'll see, can't handle the whole, all the dough at once. So I've kind of tailored this basically to the maximum that this little mini chop guy can handle. If you have a food processor, you can make a much bigger batch of this. So about 3 tablespoons of butter goes in. That was almost a mistake. Okay, 3 tablespoons of butter. What else do I want in here? Good solid pinch of salt. You don't want to go crazy on the salt. We're just going to bring this to a boil. It's going to happen almost right away. Okay, So I have a very small quantity here. If you're doing this at home, making a larger portion, it might go a little slower. So then off the heat, this is half a cup of flour. You want to incorporate this off the heat. We're going to put it back on the heat in a sec. But get it all mixed up. And you can see it coming together already. So the consistency, we're going to cook this for a little bit. And you will kind of want it to till it gets like, not on crazy heat here either. Dial this back a bit. So we're going to go for like 2 minutes here. The timer. 2 minutes-ish. And you kind of want to, like, this needs to get cooked and smeared. So this part's a little bit labor intensive. You can't just leave it and let it cook. I'm constantly pressing it. You could also do this like in a shallow, which I got from the cool thing. I forgot the cool thing. Okay, damn it! And you know that it's at the top of my list too. I gotta show you guys the cool thing, but let me finish this. Let me finish the cooking the pate here, or the pat or choux, and then I'll show you the cool thing, because the cool thing is really cool. Serena keeps an eye on Facebook Marketplace and found something just incredible. So, and it's a fun thing to have in your kitchen, or fun things. I'll show you in a sec. Give me a sec. Totally forgot about that. I have my apologies. It's literally at the top of my notes here. And I don't know if you guys can see, yeah, you can see the consistency. See how it's getting nice and smooth? You kind of want it, the consistency of like wet sand. A little bit shiny or a little bit of a gloss there. This just takes a sec here. Okay, give me 2 seconds. Actually, I'm going to bring this back to a boil too. How much time we got here? 27 seconds. I can do it. I can do it. I got this. This is a bit of a workout. But again, you want to keep this moving. You don't want it to burn. It's almost like cooking a roux, right? If you see little black bits in this, you are done and you are going to have to start over. So you don't want that to happen. There we go. All right, slide that guy out of the way. Get this in the mini chop, and then I'll do the cool thing. Let's just cool for a sec. So this is just going to go, ooh, not down the spout. There you go. Okay. Okay, so the cool thing. Let's get to the cool thing here. This was Serena's Facebook find, and I think they're amazing. I'm going to just show you guys one. We got 3 of these. So these were made by Sears in the 70s, and it's like a little ceramic mushroom canister. And we have 2 this size. Got a bigger one for flour. It was a big set. These were the only pieces people had, but just like, I don't know, incredible colors. I love the look of them, and these are just like really fun things to have in your kitchen. So it's important, you know, your kitchen is your space. It's important to make it your own. Add things that are fun to you. I have my, like, I don't know if you guys can see, you can't see over here, but, oh, my poor kitchen witch. This is my kitchen witch, and she brings me good luck. We got this at like a craft store sale thing. Always good to have a kitchen witch looking over your shoulder when you're cooking for good luck. So yeah, let me put this away. Okay, any questions on that? Any questions on the kitchen witch or the other thing that I just showed you? Probably not. I need the blades and the top. Okay, so now, this is, oh, let me go back to the thing here. There we go. Okay, so now get it in your mini chop or your food processor or whatever. Just plain, I'm gonna give it a mini blitz. I want to distribute break it up a bit, like you guys can see. And then we are going to add our Gruyere, which is going to go in. This is what makes it a savory. Well, it tastes amazing, but this is what makes it savory versus sweet. I'm going to add a pinch of pepper here. I like a little pepper in my gnocchi. This is to taste. That's my taste right there. No salt. We're going to blitz to mix that up just for a sec. Looks really good. And then 2 eggs. And this is just my ratio. I forget what the standard ratio is, but this is, again, I'm tailoring this to this mini chop. And also, this will make extra. This is going to make more than I have tonight, and I'll show you guys how to freeze this. Okay. That, and we're just going to blend this, and you'll see the mini chop is great, but it's not the most powerful thing in the world, so you'll hear this when I blend it, but I can always tell when the consistency is right. Because this thing totally Janeways when it gets thick. So, there you go. So, I'm going to put this in a bowl because the other thing you have to do at this point is let it rest for half an hour. So we're not going to do that. We're going to TV time this. I've got a batch I made a little bit earlier. But let me get it out of here. Really, this consistency is great. And this is the consistency you want, you know? Always be careful. I just about cut myself. Always be careful taking the off the blades, of course, even though I'm not being careful. Okay. And let's get this out of here too. So unlike traditional, well, not traditional, unlike Italian gnocchi, if you were doing ricotta, we'd be rolling this out into like a thin log and cutting it up. If it was potato, we'd be using a little paddle thing. I actually don't know where mine is, but that'll be another week. This one is interesting. It gets piped out of a pastry bag. I'll show you guys how to do that in a sec. Just let me get this guy all set aside. So this is going to be my chore for later, to deal with this. For now, it goes over here. Get this guy out of the way. Let's do a little bit of cleanup here. I'm not in a rush tonight, you know? It's like when I have something. Tastes great. Okay, so, as I said, we're TV timing this. So here is my previous batch in a pastry bag. And I'm going to try and squeeze this out into the water. You think Voyagers, not Janeways? Is that I don't know what the proper verb is now. Okay, I'm gonna do this in front of you guys. I got some boiling water going already. So this will be a bit of an experiment. I have not tried to do this on my own. I had Serena helping me last time. But the idea is it does go really quickly. And the idea is... Now, oh my god, I can't believe I just said that. I was going to say I have a left-hand squeezer or a right-hand squeezer, but I'm going to leave that alone for now. So the idea is about 3/4 of an inch. Oh yeah, this is working. And you just cut them off into the water. Now this is only the first step in cooking, so I'm going to take a break in a sec. You want these to cook for about just a couple of minutes. They'll float up when they're done. And I'm going to do this in a couple of batches. I don't want to crowd the water. Oh, there's a big one. There we go. Okay. And what I have in my bag there. Reset this. I'm going to go to air bubble. Okay. We're going to let this go 2 minutes. 22 seconds. And you can see already they're floating up. You do want, they're not done yet. Just because they float up doesn't mean they're done. You do want to give them the full 2 minutes in the water. Okay, I can live with that. Oh, and we're also fogging up the cam. Hang on, guys. Let's fix this. Okay, we're gonna move the pot. Well, it's the wrong side, isn't it? Maybe this way? Maybe we'll just wait. There we go. Oh, these look amazing. I'm so happy. So, by the way, if you don't have a pastry bag, and the first time I did this, I did not have a pastry bag, just put it in a Ziploc bag, like a big Ziploc bag, and cut the corner off. You wanted the opening about 1/2 inch. You want them to come out about this size, but you do not need to have a pastry bag. Yeah, I think they are cute. I really like these. And actually, having said we're going to wait the full 2 minutes, well, they're not quite ready. Okay. Fair enough. This is about 1 serving, I would say, maybe a little bit more. Once they're, and so at this stage, you can actually, once they're cooked like this, you can put them on a sheet pan like this and put them in the freezer. Just put the sheet pan straight in the freezer, let them freeze, and then scrape them off into a bag, and then you can pull them out and finish them whenever you want. They don't, okay, these are done. Timer's gonna go off in a sec, but there you go. Look how amazing they look. There you go. So again, if I was gonna wait till later, I could just, I'll leave it. Yeah, this is the big guy. There we go. You can just put this straight into the freezer, let them freeze. So let's see if we can get another round going here. But I mean, if you had the time, if you were doing like, I have a love-hate relationship with meal prep. But if you are a meal prep kind of person, you could make like a ton of these and they would just be great. Have a huge, this takes no time at all. You can make a giant batch of these, put them in the freezer, and use them in whatever recipe you felt like, and it would be great. I'm having trouble getting these guys smooshed though. There we go. Kind of gonna just trying to finish the bag here. I don't want to like do another round. Oh. It's like the last bit of the toothpaste, you know. God, now I feel like a machine. Look at this. Pushing my luck here. One more. Two more. Okay. There we go. Crowded the pan. Remember I said I wasn't going to crowd the pan? Well, I wasn't looking to see how many were going in, but I think it's going to be okay. So again, we're going to give this probably 99 seconds because they spent some time in the pot cooking while I was, squeezing them in. Well, you can see here in the pan, they're already like shrinking and losing a little. Now they will puff up you'll see when we finish them, they'll puff up again. But they've lost a little bit of their size already. They're relatively delicate. They're not, once we get them in the butter and fry them up, they're less delicate. Yeah, I crowded this a little bit. It's still okay. They're not sticking or anything, but this is probably the most this pot can handle. Any questions as we go through this? Might let these go just a little bit longer. I'm curious to see that if I let them go a little bit longer, if the yeah, just a sec, any second now. I'm curious to see if they will take a set. You know what I mean? Whether they'll puff up and stay that way. I suspect not. I'm just gonna let these go just for interest's sake, just a little bit longer. Probably unnecessary. And I don't want them to, like, I don't know, fall apart or something too, so I'm watching them pretty carefully here. Okay, and this is another case though. So normally we would have the plates in the oven, but in this particular case for this dish, you don't want warm plates because we are going to spoon the pistou into the bottom of the bowl and top it with the hot gnocchi. And if the plate was warm, the pistou would break and separate, and we don't want that. Okay, I kind of like what the extra time's doing here. But I'm also worried that they're going to kind of like start falling apart. So there we go. This is definitely a recipe that I'm going to continue playing with. Oh yeah, you know what? Too long. See, they're starting to fall apart. I think we're okay, but got to be mindful of that. All right. Let's get guys separated and cooled. Yeah, they're all right. So there you go, guys. They will not take a set. You just want to. There we go. 2 minutes is tops. That's too long here. So some of these. We've lost a couple of these guys. They're gonna be okay though. You'll see when we fry them up, they'll take their shape back. These ones are definitely better, but pretty good all around. They're also swimming in water. Okay, so let's finish these quick before they lose any more of their shape, and serve this up. Go here. And of course, we are going to be sauteing these basically in oil. Or not oil, sorry, butter, because French cooking and all that. So let's just get this up to temperature, and then we can plate it and eat it. Okay, we'll need to get those out of the. Come on, I need this oil done now. Or butter, rather. Okay, so let's get these guys. That's probably about 2 portions. I don't want to crowd the pan too much. And so they go about, I would say about 5 to 6 minutes like this. And in the meantime, we can start getting the bowls ready here. So again, you just want like, you guys, oh yeah, you guys can see. We're just gonna take like, not a ladle full, but just a little bit more than that. You just kind of want to spread this into the bottom of the bowl like that. That looks about perfect to me. There. Perfect. I kind of want these to firm up a little bit before I start flipping them around, but it looks like we're getting there okay. Okay, any other questions? We're kind of ripping through this, but that's the great thing about this dish. Like imagine if you had, you know, your Pistou ready in the fridge and your frozen gnocchi in a bag in the freezer. Honestly, like doing it from frozen is just going to take 2 minutes longer. You could make this dish in less than 10 minutes. And you do want a fair bit of color on these. You want these like the color, not of like a, say a medium toast. Like if you're doing bread, you do want some color on them. So I think my next experiment for this dish, and in retrospect, is I will, there we go, starting to get some nice color. I'll probably take them out as soon as they float up. I have a feeling they really don't need long in the water at all. However, this was a mix of the ones that were in for a while and the ones that we did the first round, and they all kind of look the same. So I don't think any harm was done. But they were definitely like, well, no, actually they're fine. I don't know. It looked like they were about to fall apart, but it seems like they're okay. So I don't know. And I get a spoon to that probably. And they're puffing up and taking their shape back. I think these look delicious. I love the look of these guys. Getting some nice color on them now. If I was super fussy, I'd get in there with the tongs and flip them, but I think just turning them. Yeah, the color, this is one of those things I love about this dish. And you know, we've talked about this a million times on how important it is for your food to look good. I just think the color combinations of this dish are amazing. We're not quite there yet, but I have a feeling that 6 minutes is going to be the sweet spot. That's done. Highly recommend the French 75, by the way. That is a nice cocktail. There's the color we want. Yeah, this is 30 seconds from being done, probably. This here, move this out of the way. Plate these guys. Clean up. There we go. And these are done. So let's plate one up and get it off to Serena. And one more, get some good color in there. Ooh, that's hot. And then just top it with a little more grated parm. Okay, give me 2 seconds and I'll be right back. And as advertised, I am back. Let's get this last one plated up here. Don't ruin my lines there, guys. And the last piece. And a little bit of fresh parm to finish. And there you go. Hope you guys can see that. I'll hold up the camera. And there you go. I love the way this looks. Rebecca, they should be both. They should be brown and a little bit crispy. Almost like, no, I didn't say actually. Almost kind of like a French fry, like crispy on the outside and like molten and yummy on the inside. So anyway, guys, let me get onto my palette here. Let's try this out. Here we go. Yeah. So I've made this in the last couple of weeks already, and I know it's good. And this time it's no different. We get an amazing. The pâte au choux is so savory and rich, but the pistou cuts it, and it's a super nice blend. And it's almost like you can tailor your experience, your taste experience, by how much of the pistou you scoop up and how many of the gnocchi you get. It's just, I love it. It's really good. And you can see here too, and here's why you wouldn't serve this on a heated plate. You can see the heat from the gnocchi is already, the sauce is breaking just a little bit. That's okay. So, it's so good. So yeah, I was waiting till tonight, making this on stream, before I made the final decision to put this in the little blue book. It's not in yet. But after tonight, it is definitely going in. This is just, it's also not, it's rich, so you'd want a small portion of this. But it's not like gut bomb rich. It's not like, oh my God, it's so heavy. It's just the right blend of everything. Yeah. So, any questions? We can talk a little bit about next week. I have a plan for next week, which I kind of want it to be a surprise. And I'm waiting on something I ordered. I'm not sure it's going to come in time for stream next week. So let's do this. Let's come up with an alternate plan. If my surprise thing doesn't pan out, and I know I didn't order a pan, what do you guys want to do next week? Any ideas? I'm open to suggestions. And excuse me, I'm just going to keep eating this because this doesn't, like, once it cools, it's not nearly as nice. But yeah, this is just, it's still really good. And you could serve these gnocchi, you could do this in a parm cream sauce. You could do them in a light tomato sauce. Kind of anything you want. I don't know that I'd serve them in a broth because they'd probably just dissolve. But they do hold up well. Like, I don't know, you guys can see, like, they were soft before, but this is like, it's crunchy. And it's going to hold its shape until I eat it. Okay. So I'm sorry I just inhaled that in front of you guys, but oh yeah, we haven't done that yet. And I don't think, have we ever done a breakfast dish on stream? I'm not sure we have, and that's one of my favorites. I'm not doing sun-dried tomatoes. For those of you who don't know, it's almost like a running gag with me. When I was first really getting into food, I guess late 80s, early 90s, sun-dried tomatoes were just in everything. It was so trendy. Like, it was sun-dried tomato focaccia and a sun-dried tomato pasta, and coffee with like a sun-dried tomato frappuccino. Like, they would just put them in like sun-dried tomato ice cream. It was in everything, and I never liked them a lot. Now I really don't like them. I wish I'm not allergic to them, but I wish I could tell people that I was, because they're not good. Not for me anyway. Pancakes, we could do pancakes too, but pancakes is like, well, I mean, there's a lot of art to a good pancake. I don't know. Let me think about that. But shakshuka is really good too. It's a little more trendy and fun, I guess. Nothing wrong with pancakes. Maybe buttermilk pancakes, like the big, thick, fluffy buttermilk pancakes. We could do that. We could just do a breakfast themed stream. I could do pancakes and shakshuka and French omelets or something. I don't know. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know. Anyway, guys, that's kind of all I have for you. I'm going to hang around for a couple minutes for any other questions on what we just did, but this is it's a great dish, and it's the kind of thing that you can, once you have the prep, and if this is in your fridge, I mean, even if it's not, I mean, the Pistou takes what, like, no, we'll do mimosas. The Pistou takes 5 minutes to put together anyway, so even if you don't have it ready, you would want to have your gnocchi in the freezer, but if you had a huge batch of that, you can do anything. Tomato sauce, anything you want. You could toss it with a regular pesto too. It would be great. So super happy I discovered this. I'd never heard of it before, and so happy accident. And I'm glad I could share it with you guys because I love doing this. And yeah. So next week, if my surprise pans out, definitely come back for that because that'll be a lot of fun. I think I haven't done it in a really long time. and it's something I used to do with my daughter way back when she was like really little and learning how to cook. So I'd like to do that for you guys. And if not, if I don't get what I need, then we will do. Maybe we'll do a breakfast theme thing. If, you know, we can do Bloody Caesars or Bloody Marys, and mimosas and pancakes. And have we done Eggs Benedict? I feel like we did Eggs Benedict. I don't know. Somebody tell me. I feel like we did Eggs Benedict. I remember doing hollandaise. Did I not do hollandaise for you guys? Right. Okay. I don't know about Eggs Benedict actually. If we've done it already and we're gonna do a breakfast themed thing, I feel like Eggs Benny, it's so picky in its execution that it'll be hard to do with a bunch of other things. So maybe we'll do revisit. Okay. Can I work it in? Let me think about that. We could do the full Eggs Benedict thing. Since I started making my own female bacon anyway, we could revisit that too. Should we put the 2 episodes together? Should we do Eggs Benedict and female bacon? Oh, I'm wearing all the flour. Okay, we have lots of ideas. Excuse me. Let me kick that around. Let me think about that. And one way or the other, it's going to be a really fun week next week, and I'm looking forward to it. So. Anyway, guys, everybody stay safe, take it easy, and I will see you all next week.